And back with you guys today, and today we are doing a Rainbow Six Siege all operators tier list of what I think are good operators, bad operators, and meta operators, obviously. So, as you guys know, all of 2020 we've pretty much had the utility meta. You know, the defenders bring like 8 shields, and you have to take them all down with your minimal Ash charges, Zofia charges, Ace charges, and all that stuff. You know, you have to deal with ADSs. Ever since the introduction of Rooney and the introduction of Neon Dawn, the last operation for year 5 of Rainbow Six Siege, meta has changed a little bit, and more operators are becoming viable and more aren't. So, we're going to go ahead and talk about all the operators, at least from my perspective. Obviously, you guys know that I do play on a competitive team for the New Mexico State University Rainbow Six Siege team. I am pretty shit myself, but I think I know what I'm doing when it comes to operator selection. I tend to take most of that on to myself. So, we're going to go ahead and start off with the best operator in the game, Recruit. Obviously, best character, you know, you can have any gun combination. I'm kidding. No, you can't. You really can't. I mean, Recruit, like if you're choosing Recruit, you're throwing, you have no attachments, and you need those attachments, and you're slow as fuck. So, we're going to get them right off the board, right then and there. D tier. Fuck Recruit. Dislike this video if you disagree. Anyway. Moving on to Ace. Ace is honestly pretty S tier right now. He has smokes and he has throwable breaches. Back then, he used to have like the 3 drop down charges, but now only has 2. If you use those properly, you can pre-place them and stuff like that. It's actually a pretty good operator. Ace, definitely S tier right now. You can throw them pretty much across the map. They land perfectly. Match it with Thatcher, and you'll be fine. Moving on to a Rooney. And also, I'm also gonna mention like the situational abilities of the operators. But this is also gonna be like OP operators in general. It won't be just meta. It won't be just situational. I'm just gonna overall kit and overall playability. Next up, we have Alibi. Alibi is honestly not that great. I'm honestly just going to leave her in C tier just because she's a great roamer. Her gun is really good. It has a really fast fire rate. It shoots pebbles, though. It doesn't really hit as hard as it should. And her other loadout is the shotgun, and she has 2 of the most pistols in the game. I mean, the revolver is pretty good. It packs a big punch. But the lack of attachments and the lack of visibility, just because of the iron sights on it, are pretty shite. So I'm going to leave it down and C. I might move her up to B. I don't know. She's super situational. If you play a map where there's a bunch of like hard objects that people have to like either peek to shoot or just can't get over. For instance, if you play like the living room on Villa and there's a lot of like those, you know, weird half walls. Same thing with Border. If you place it behind a half wall, it's going to be really useful to kind of like peek around, but you know, it's super situational, and being like her kit is not that great even for that situation. Moving on to Amaro. Amaro is instantly S tier. Her kit is absolutely unbelievable. She has the GA SMG. She has I think the Habana shotgun. She has an SMG-11 and the Mira shotgun. Literally insane loadout right there. Like, I mean, shotguns are in this game. They're not really that good, especially those 2. But for what you could use it for, opening hatches and getting around the map, especially on a map like Canal, especially a map like Theme Park and stuff like that, her kit may not be very competitive and might be like a hit or miss. Very situational, honestly. But overall, her kit is fucking insane. I really like it. Moving on to a Rooney. Rooney is the newest operator, so I don't really know where to place her. I'm going to place her around B tier just because her kit is very interesting. Obviously, she has her Surya gates. I believe she has a bulletproof camera and some barbed wire, along with the DMR and the P10 Rooney with a pistol, I believe, for her secondary. I think it's only 1 pistol. And she has her punching ability. I think her ability is going to be super situational. You really have to combo it good. And just because of the way that this game is right now, I don't think it's going to be super useful. I think it's super like good on maps like Coastline, where there's just a bunch of doorways, a bunch of wide doorways that can really impact the flow of the map and the game. But other than that, I don't think her kit is all that great. I mean, she looked pretty overpowered, but I think she's going to see a nerf, unfortunately. And it's just not going to be that great for her. So, sucks to suck. Moving on to Ash. Ash is now an A tier operator. I would put her in S if she still had flashes, but now she has Claymore and a breaching charge. This is all of 2021. January 13th, so it's not too outdated for anybody who watches this later on. But she has 3 breaching charges now, a claymore and breaching charges, so she's the breach queen. You don't really see breaching charges that much, even in competitive play or even in ranked play. You're not going to use a breaching charge. You're going to either shoot open a barricade, you're going to hit open a barricade, or you're going to wait for someone with like a better kit to do it for you, like a Kali or a Zofia or a Sledge. So, I mean, her ability is mainly good for like those bulletproof gadgets, like a Maestro cam, a shield, stuff like that. I mean, maybe opening stuff from below, but you're really not going to see that much usability besides that compared to Zofia, where you can use the stuns to clear ADSs and hit people. So I'm going to give her an A tier. She has a great setup. The ACOG nerf was honestly one of the better things, in my opinion. And yeah, pretty much that's it. Moving on to Bandit, his kit has not been touched at all since the beginning of the game, and I am glad because it is OP as fuck. MP7, highest fire rate in the gun, or one of the highest fire rate guns in this fucking game. Stumbling over my words here. And it honestly just packs a punch, and his kit is pretty good. It's one of those leave and forget operators where you just kind of put it on a wall, and if they breach it, they breach it, and if they don't, they don't. I'm actually going to bring him down to A tier just because his gadget placements are kind of weak. Like, they have to be on the floor. You can't, like, be creative with it with Cade, and I'm actually going to bring Cade all the way up here to an A tier operator just because how much like versatility you can with those electric claws are so awesome compared to Bandit, where you can only do 1 bandit charge for 1 wall, and it has to be on the floor. If that floor can be shot from below or hit with a Kali, it's pretty much instant breakage, you know, compared to a Cade. Even though his kit's a little different, I think the AUG is super under appreciated. I know a lot of people use the TCSG, but it's seen some nerfs as recent. But that AUG with the 1.5 scope is literally a beamer. I get 3 pieces with that shit like it's nothing. And I think it's honestly a little bit better than Bandit's because Bandit doesn't really have the 1.5 scope, kind of like Zero does. And it kind of hinders him, but I think it's obviously for balancing, it's a good move. He's still good, but, you know, they almost have the same kit, I believe. Cade has bulletproof cam and C4, and Bandit has C4 and barbed wire, so it's honestly a pretty good kit for Bandit. And he has the shotgun. Nobody really uses the MP7. It's literally all you need, and the pistol is also super reliable. The only reason I would put Cade in A is because of his pistol abilities, but now that they gave him the revolver, it's honestly pretty dope that he can actually win a gunfight more times than not. So yeah, those are my 2 electricity operators, I guess you could say. Blackbeard, putting him in D tier, bro. I don't know why people use this motherfucker. He's slow, his guns absolutely suck, and if you actually make an argument that Blackbeard is good, no, you're fucking not. You're the definition of trash. I'm sorry. Anybody that plays Blackbeard, god awful. I mean, there's strategic ways to play him, but his kit is absolute shit. I don't even think he has flashes anymore, and if he does, nobody ever uses them. His shields have seen an extensive nerf. And both his AR and his DMR, I mean, his DMR is like a fucking 70 damage each hit you kill someone or you shoot somebody with. But the fire rate compared to like an F17 or a 417 from like Twitch, you're not going to compete with a, you know, with even a Bandit or some shit like that. So honestly, terrible operator. Don't like him at all. Doesn't even have, I think it's breach charges and flashes. That's what he has. And nobody ever uses those 2 things. Moving on to Blitz. I'm going to put Blitz in C tier, honestly, because his kit is obviously pretty basic. It's a shield with flashes and a pistol. Like, there's not much variability. That's why I'm going to actually put Monty, the other shield operator that we have, in a B tier, just because his usability of his shield is actually more versatile than the Blitz. Because Blitz, you have to be running in order to, or you have to be standing to run, and that's the only way you're actually going to catch someone. But while you're running, your feet are exposed, and that's an instant down if anybody knows how to shoot straight. Compared to a Monty, where even when he's crouched and even when he's stand, it's very hard to shoot like around the head part of his shield just because of how it's built. And you can block doorways with Monty. You can't block doorways with Blitz. And it's pretty easy to melee Blitz compared to Monty. So a little bit different there. Obviously, he has the pistol and the revolver, and Blitz only has the pistol. And you can only get so far with a pistol. Also, Monty has smokes, and Blitz doesn't. Blitz has like breaching charges or some shit like that, and like a claymore, or maybe he hasn't something like that. He doesn't have anything that useful. So I'm just gonna leave him down in C tier. I mean, he's super situational again. If you really want to be an asshole about it, you can go ahead and do that. But yeah, moving on to Buck. Buck is definitely an S tier operator. His kit has taken a big hit as of late. switching out from nades to flashes, and I think he has breach charges as well. But nobody ever uses the breach charges because you have your super destructive skeleton key that can shoot up, you could shoot down, you could shoot to the sides, break doors, instantly mantle after 2 shots. Literally insane gadget. His guns are pretty fucking dope. His DMR 70 damage a shot, I believe. And that thing literally has like one of the fastest fire rates. It has the 3.0 scope, so it's awesome. And obviously the regular gun, the Commando, I think that's what it is. It's really fucking dope. I love that gun. And he has a 1.5 instead of an ACOG scope, which I honestly think is better than an ACOG scope, just because of how much the recoil really compensates for that. So pretty even to start it off. We have a couple operators here. We have Capitao. I'm going to move on over to an A tier operator, just because his smokes really are what bring him down for me. So he has his, I don't know what the AR is called, and an LMG, the M249. For his kit, he has claymores and flashes, which are super useful. I'm actually going to put him in S tier because he's honestly really fucking good. He has like almost 7 throwable things that he can shoot out. He has 2 smokes, 2 fire bolts, and 3 grenades. I think 3 grenades. It might be 2. I think 3 is default though. That he could choose from if you're not running a claymore at least. And you could just clear a bunch of ADSs with the Jaegers nerf coming in. And you can obviously, fire bolts and smoke bolts are immune to Jaeger, but not with mine. So, I mean, it's still pretty good depending on what you're using. If the fire still drops to the floor, the smoke will propagate only to where it explodes. So, kind of sucks there. But other than that, pretty fucking dope operator. I like his gun a lot. I'm sad they took away the ACOG, but I think that was just good balancing because in this kind of meta, holy fuck, the ACOG would have been insane. Okay, moving on to Castle. He's definitely more situational operator. I'm going to leave him down in A tier. But honestly, you know what? I'm gonna put him in S tier. And I know a lot of you guys are, what the fuck? Castle's not even that good. But when it comes to like late game rounds, I feel like his castles are super situational. So actually, I'm gonna leave him down in A tier. His kit is an ump, which needs to be buffed. Buff the ump. He has a, I think it's a M414 or some, whatever fucking shotgun it is. I say the FBI shotgun. Not that great compared to the ump. His 2 pistols are a 5.7 and an M1911. I think that's what it's called. But those pistols are really awesome. They're really good. High fire rate, high damage. I take the 5.7 over the 1911 just because I like more bullets in my gun, I guess you could say. And it doesn't hit as hard, but still. Anyway, moving on to Caviar. Putting in her in D tier operator. She's not that fucking good anymore. I just feel like she's so bad nowadays with her gun. It's just not a good gun anymore. I mean, it's never really been that great in an SMG. Her shotgun is and her kit's okay. I just feel like if you're playing Cav, you're pretty much throwing. You're not really bringing much utility to the team at all. And you're probably not going to get a fucking interrogation unless you're playing a bunch of silvers. So, kind of blows, but it is what it is. Moving on to Clash, another horrible operator. But I actually do like her a little bit more than Blackbeard and Caviar. Just because her kit is really versatile. You can have the pistol, but obviously you're not going to use the pistol. You're going to use the SMG 12 or whatever it is. I don't remember what the SMG is for her. It's called. We have the SMG there. Pretty fucking good gun, honestly. I use that on Callie a lot when we get to her. And I feel like just the shocking ability and the slowing ability and the ability to block out doors and obviously the see-through shield. You can, you know, have people peek behind your shield. Super useful. So I'm actually going to put her behind what's his name, Monty, just because she's like a Monty type character but on defense. I mean, they're really fucking annoying to play against. These literally everybody in B is so fucking annoying to play against, but super rewarding once you get the kill and super rewarding to play if you play them right. Moving on to Doc, I'm gonna put him in B tier as well. He doesn't really bring that much utility to the team other than the heals. I mean, he's good. His gun is kind of been nerfed. No more ACOG. You have the 1.5 scope on there. You have barbed wire and a bulletproof cam. Not that much utility to bring around, and half the time you're just stimming yourself because you're over peeking anyway as a fucking Doc player. So it doesn't really matter what the fuck you're doing on a Doc player. So, I mean, I'm just going to leave him at B just because his kit's not that great. He has a revolver and then that one little pistol. He has the P90 and the shotgun, but nobody's really going to use those other 2 weapons when the MP5K is so much better. Moving on to Dokeby. I'm going to put her in A tier just because her kit has seen a lot of changes as of late. She obviously has her hacking ability, which is pretty good for just like sound cues around the map. She's got nades. She's got awesome SMGs as her secondary. She's got the Boss G, the Boss Goat shotgun. Who doesn't fucking use that thing on a daily basis? And She's a 3-speed, so she's super fast, she's super agile. Her DMR is the only thing that brings her down, but I think you can pretty much compensate it with the rest of her kit. Echo, I'm going to put him down as a B tier operator. His nerf really hurt him. The only thing he really has going for him is his shield nowadays. But other than that, you know, no ACOG on his gun anymore. Your little drones can't be seen anymore. And, I mean, you still have impacts and your default shotgun secondary, your SMG secondary, and your pistol secondary. I don't even think he has the SMG anymore, but if he does, it's pretty cool. But yeah, Echo, super situational. You really have to place him right. It takes too much active playing in order to play it right. So you literally have to be on your Echo drones the entirety of the round, or almost the entirety of the round, to really be effective with your utility. It's not like something like Maestro where you can just pop on it. It's already aimed in that direction, and you can just shoot someone and open it if you need to. And it's not as easily countered as like a Maestro. Maestro, you can aim the little window to the sky, so if a Twitch hits it, they can't obviously do anything about it. But if a Twitch finds her Echo, you're pretty much fucked. Moving on to Ella, she's seen a pretty big nerf as of late. Just the utility she brings is not that great. I mean, she still has her shield, she has barbed wire, she has that big AA-12 shotgun, or not the AA-12, but the TC shotgun or whatever the fuck it's called. Her Scorpion has seen a massive nerf just because of its high fire rate, and she has one of the better pistols in the game. I'm also going to leave her down at C just because I don't see her being played that much. I just think she could be way better when it comes to like the utility. Like, give her an impacts back, and maybe she's a B or A tier operator. Because, I mean, you can control her recoil, but, you know, there's so many better high fire rate weapons that you can choose over that person. Moving on to Finka, I'm going to put her down in C tier operators just because her kit, I mean, it's good. Actually, I'm going to put her in B. Her kit is alright. It's not the best kit in the game. She has the spear, and she has the LMG, the Spetsnaz LMG. And the Spetsnaz LMG is it has a pretty slow fire rate, but it has pretty good hit damage. But compared to the spear, it only has like 25 bullets in the spear, and it's kind of a pebble shooter, so not too much variability you could do there. It has all the SAS scope, or the Spetsnaz scopes, so it's kind of a to be completely honest, not that great of an experience just playing her. Her ability is only really good because you can revive someone if you hit it at the right time. But if you're not playing coordinated, you're not going to get that usage. She has nades and I believe flashbangs as her kit, which are honestly pretty good. That's why I'm keeping her in B and not a C or D, just because you can at least get something going with a nade. Moving on to Frost, I'm going to put her down in a C tier operator. I mean, she's good and all, but I mean, you only really see her really excel at the higher ranks, and that's only because people are so tunnel visioned at higher ranks. I mean, you can see it at lower ranks, obviously. People are just not going to check the bottom of a fucking window. But, like, you really have to be super strategic with these placements. You have to put them, like, over bomb sites and shit like that. And just her, I mean, her kit's pretty good. Her SMG is super nice to play with, especially with the 1.5 scope. I'm actually going to put her in B tier because she's one of the, I think, one of the better just roam around operators when she's not supposed to be a roamer. You're going to be very surprised when you get killed across the map by Frost. But when you're playing her and you're not doing that great, you're pretty much just a failure to the team. Your utility may or may not be useful. It's not going to bring that much sound cues, and you just never know with that kind of operator. And you can't really like funnel an operator in or make an enemy kind of like reposition themselves just to take out your gadget. Similar to like a Capcan. Capcan I will put in an A tier operator just because his kit is good. He has a 1.5 scope on his SMG, he has the sausage shotgun and two of the strongest pistols in the game, but his gadget can be maneuvered to different doorways / windows. So if you put it on like the off angle of a door, you can force someone to peek that door or wide swing that door just to shoot the Capcan. You make the sound cue, and as she's shooting, you're over here in the corner and you shoot her or like whoever it is. So that's why I think Capcan's better. He has impacts, he has a C4, literally insane kit. Plus his gun is super good. Fuse, putting him down in the bottom. Like, I don't know why people use Fuse. He's too big. His kit's ass. The only thing he has going for him is an AK-12. And the only thing that makes Ace better than him with the AK-12 is purely due to the speed. Like, the AK-12 is a faster gun, has a fast fire rate for assault rifle, has a lot of damage. But if you're playing like a fucking slug with Fuse and you're putting down those little things, I mean, it's super situational. So honestly, I'm going to give him a C tier. just because his gadgets aren't that great. They were kind of reworked and they work on certain sites, but you know, if you die, there's no utility you have left on the board. It's one of those operators where if you die, you're not really getting too much done. I mean, obviously, if you die too early with any of the other operators, you're not going to really get much done. But like, truly, his kit's kind of weird. He has a smoke grenades and then the SMG, or the Spetsnaz LMG, Spetsnaz shield, which is useless, and the 2 pistols. So his kit's kind of weird. I don't really like it. I don't know why people play him. He's not that fun to play. It's kind of just a place and forget and activate type of shit. So I don't like him. That's just me. Moving on to Glaz. I'm gonna put Glaz in the A tier operator. I just feel like he's gotten so much. Actually, I'm gonna put him B tier because he's super situational. And I mean, he's not necessarily not meta, but his kit is bringing him closer and closer to the meta of the game. I just feel like he's handicapped right off the beginning for being a sniper player. In a game where fire rate is king, it's just not going to work that well for, you know, overall gunplay in this game. Like, you're going to get out fragged almost every time unless you're really good. I mean, it has a really good fire rate. You have smokes to use at your advantage. You have nades too, which is super fucking dope. But in order to really take advantage of the smokes, you have to stay still. And we all know if you stay still for too long in Rainbow, you're going to get absolutely fucked. So yeah, don't really like Glaz as someone to play, but I do enjoy Glaz playing against because it brings a certain aspect to the game. Goyo, instantly putting him A tier. His kit is literally insane. He's got a C4, barbed wire, 2 fire shields, a vector. I believe he has the big shotgun. I don't know what shotgun he has. He might have Elo shotgun. I don't know. And his pistol is like the Echo pistol or the Habana pistol. I think he's a pretty good operator. I wish he had a 1.5 scope, but that would just make him super OP compared to like a Mira. But just his utility is super useful. You can place and forget. You could even utilize the shield like in a different way. You can either use it to like cover yourself. You can use it to like hurt people. All that pretty cool stuff. So honestly, great operator. Same thing with Gridlock. Gridlock's going right at the top of my list. She has 2 great guns. She has the AUG gun. I don't know if it's an AUG, but it looks like an AUG. And then she has an LMG. The LMG is a hard-hitting motherfucker. The AUG is a pebble shooter, but has regular ACOG and has really good ammo supply in it. So I like the AUG a lot. It's slow reload, but you know, you gotta do what you can do. Her gadget, super useful, literally on every map. So great. I love her so much. She's got smokes and she's got I believe it's a claymore for her secondary, or maybe like a breach charge, but smokes are super useful in this game. I just think that she doesn't get enough playtime, even though she's super good. Another A tier operator or S tier operator is Habana. The rework on Habana was absolutely insane. We have flashbangs and a claymore on her, I think, and she could change the amount of pellets she uses, so you don't have to waste all your pellets on getting like 2 fucking hatches or 3 fucking hatches, and you could still, you know, open up a wall or some shit. So, you know, her kit's insane. She has the Type 89 or whatever it's called. She has the shotgun nobody uses because the type is so much better. She still has the OG ACOG, so it's awesome. She has an SMG 11 or SMG 12. Super great SMG. It's getting better every day. And she has the really nice feeling pistol that Goyo has too. So I just really like that operator. Habana is one of my favorite people to play against. Iana, I haven't played her. Like, she's one of the operators I've probably played the least amount ever since they came out. And just because her kit is super versatile when it comes to playing with her and against her, I think she's an A tier just because of her kit. She has the ARX and the G36. Both weapons are kind of pea shooters, and they both have very limited ammo supply in one magazine. But you can like clone trick, which is pretty fucking dope. I don't know if you guys know what clone tricking is, but really great feature that she can do. She's got nades and I think flashbangs or claymore, but pretty much her nades are super insanely good. Her drone is insanely good. A tier operator, definitely. IQ has seen a big nerf. I'm honestly putting her in as a C tier operator. Her kit is a commando. That's the actual commando. Sorry. She's got a commando. She's got a GA LMG, and she's got the AUG, like the OG AUG, really big, heavy assault rifle, and the GSG9 pistol. I think her kit is overpowered. She shouldn't have 3 guns, and maybe they should recycle, like maybe the AUG and give it to someone else, and you know, keep her pretty basic. She doesn't have any throwables. She has a claymore and breaching charges, which you can't clear a Rooney charges with, or a Rooney Surya gates. You can't clear ADSs with her at all. Bad operator. Not fun to play with. I mean, her guns are fun to use. The commando, the G8, fun to use, but you're never going to get anywhere that far. You literally have to waste your drone to get through a Surrey gate if you absolutely have to get there. And if your drone's across the map and you don't have an extra one, you're fucked. You just have to take the 30 damage. So I don't like her place in the meta just because she has absolutely no counter to some of the operators, you know? And it kind of sucks. Moving on to Jacko, he's obviously an an S tier operator. You see him banned all the fucking time just because he's so easy to use. His kit is insane. He's got 3 guns again. I don't know why they do that, but he's got 3 guns. They should just take away the long shotgun, in my opinion. He's got 3 guns. He's got the long shotgun and the mini shotgun for a secondary and a really bulky pistol, but everybody just uses the shotgun anyway. He's got the long assault rifle. I don't know what it's called, and he has a PDW with like 80 bullets in 1 magazine. Insane stuff. Both of them have pretty high zoom scopes. I think the PDW has a 1.5 and his assault rifle has a regular default OG ACOG, which are super insane. They're super good. It has super high fire rate, and they're super stable too when it comes to the recoil. He has smokes, and I believe he has a claymore, and he could track people like anywhere he wants from like a distance. He has the shotgun and shotgun things from below. If they're on a hatch, you shotgun the hatch, you switch to your assault rifle, or even keep your shotgun, and you can still kill that guy almost 9 times out of 10. They have nerfed him a little bit to where, you know, the entire team doesn't know who is being tracked, and only he does, and he has to communicate that. Either or, still a very oppressive operator. Fun to play against. Or not fun to play against, I should say. Jaeger, I'm honestly going to put him in the A tier still. I mean, Jaeger's always going to be a really high operator on any tier list just because of his kit. He has the 4 something carbine. Everybody uses. They used to have ACOG on it. Rest in peace. But literally, it's good with holo and ACOG, like insanely good. Not so good with the red dot. Kind of fucked it up. He's got the M8 shotgun, and he has the pistol, the GSG9 pistol. And yeah, the amount of bullets he has like 300 bullets in like the reserve. And on top of that, his gun has super good like destructibility. He has barbed wire, and I believe it's like proximity mines. No, barbed wire and like it's not a C4. It's not an explosive. Maybe a bulletproof cam. But his kit is insane. Like he's 3 speed. He's so good. His gun literally melts anybody and everybody. Great operating, obviously. We have Kali. I'm gonna put her in S tier just because of well, I don't know where to put her at. I'm gonna put her at S tier just because her kit is super interesting and super rewarding. So she obviously has her sniper, 1 shot 1 kill if you hit anybody above like the chest, and there's almost an insta down no matter where you hit them, as long as you don't hit them in the kneecap or on the foreskin. So pretty good operator. No alternative primary weapon though, which is interesting. She has 2 secondaries though. She has the Clash SMG as well as a pistol. Everybody uses the SMG, and that SMG is insane. It has a lot of bullets. It's pretty solid and stable, and a lot of people just use her SMG most of the time. Her gadget is like a good Thatcher alternative when Thatcher's banned, and honestly I think it's better than Thatcher because it destroys the gadget rather than just disable it like Thatcher does. So very interesting. Legion, I don't know why people don't have Legion higher on their tier list. I understand he's got nerfs, but his gun is insane. His kit is still good. Impacts, and I believe it's like barbed wire he might have. I'm not sure. No, it's impacts and maybe like a bulletproof shield or a bulletproof cam or some shit like that. But everybody uses impacts. He has the T5 SMG with a 1.5 scope, which is absolutely phenomenal. Literally no recoil on that motherfucker. He's got a good pistol, and he has the weird shotgun as a secondary. It's not that great, but everybody just uses the T5 SMG anyway. And I don't know. I mean, just because there's no markers on the Legion anymore, because back then you could see where every Legion was on the map, just through the walls and everything. Now you can only see them if you're directly looking at them, so you can't really tell. But the sound it still makes is super loud, and you can still figure it out where that operator's coming from. Lion, I'm gonna put him as a B tier operator. He's not that great anymore. His kit is taking a big hit. Obviously, he was the most oppressive operator ever. When he came out as an operator, it was the only time in Rainbow Six history that the attackers actually had an advantage and like a better win rate than defenders. Like defenders literally have had the advantage and the win rate on any map, on any match, in competitive and in just regular base game. They've released the statistics, and defenders have always won until the operation where Lion came out, because he was just so oppressive. You drone everybody out, you hit the stun beacon or whatever the fuck it's called, and you go in and kill everybody. So pretty great operator. Obviously it's changed a little bit here and there, but his kit is also pretty good. Another operator with, I think, 3 guns. I mean, I don't mind the 3 guns on him just because you don't ever see the other 2. He has a vector assault rifle, pretty much. I don't know what you call it. He has the Doc and Rook shotgun, and he has a 417 DMR from Twitch. The 417 and the assault rifle are obviously the only ones that are used. They both have default ACOGs. Maybe the DMR has the 3.0 scope, I think. And he has pretty good kit. He has flashes and a claymore, I believe. But like other than that, he's not really that much utility you can bring to the team. He's pretty much going to be your frag operator if you're not already bringing someone better. Next up, we have Maestro. Maestro is definitely an S tier operator just because of his gadget. I mean, his kit is good too. He has barbed wire and I believe impacts as well. He has the good shotgun pistol and the heavier, bulkier revolver pistol that Alibi has. He has an LMG for a primary, which it doesn't have ACOG anymore, but it's still really fucking good. And he has the AA-12 shotgun. AA-12 shotgun is literally a sniper in itself, so both of his primary weapons are insane. His gadget is pretty hard to counter unless you have a twitch or just directly impact it, and there's no ADSs in front of it or Romais. And yeah, he's just super oppressive on the map. You can literally just hold down your mouse too and just spray through everybody, so it's pretty great. Next up, we have Maverick. Maverick is an S tier operator. He's the best hard breacher in this game. Changed my mind. His kit is insane. He has, I believe, oh yeah, only 2 weapons. He has the assault rifle and he has the M16 or whatever the fuck it's called. The M4. The M4 is a DMR assault rifle. It's a weaker DMR, but it's still a pretty good high fire rate DMR that he has. And he has a really nice feeling pistol as well. He has nades and I believe he has a claymore. I could be wrong. I don't really know what he has besides those 2. And honestly, they're really good. Like combination. His gadget is literally the best hard reach gadget in the game. You can Maverick trick the walls and just make super advantageous peeking points, so it's pretty fucking great. All right, next we have Malusi. Moving on to the second row of the S tier operators. S tier operator Malusi. Her kit is insane. Company with her gadget. Her gadget was one of the most oppressive gadgets on the defender side of this game. It honestly sucks that they haven't nerfed it yet. It's been literally like almost 6 months with her, and she's just insane. She used to be even better too, which is crazy. So she's got 3 of those wubs. That's what I call them. It just slows people down when they walk. She's got impacts, and I believe she's got a barbed wire. I could be wrong. I'm not too sure. Barbed wire and impacts. She has an MP5K with no like long range sights, so she only has hollow, reflex, and red dot. Reflex and hollow are pretty much what people are going to be using. She's got the Ella pistol, which is super dope. And then for other secondary, I believe is... I don't even know what her other secondary is. To be completely honest, I completely forgot what her other secondary is. I just use the MP5K. But yeah, that's what she uses on that. And I just think her gadget and her kit is just so good. Can't really get better than that. Moving on to Ash. Oh, no, Ash. What am I doing? Mira, another S tier operator. Her kit and her gadget is wholeheartedly one of the best in the game. She has a shotgun secondary and the bulky pistol that Jacko has too. For her primaries, she has the long shotgun and the vector, the short range one, kind of like Goyo. But on her vector, you can actually have a 1.5 scope, so you can actually peek really long ranges with that vector, which is really dope. You put a suppressor on it, it's literally great. You can make like your Mira scope of view better just by shotgunning the wall in front of the Mira placement. You can shotgun the walls below it, above it, just so you can see who's gonna come and get you. And it's just overall great. Mira's been in the game forever, and I'm glad she hasn't changed. Really good operator. We're gonna have Mozzie here at another S tier operator. Honestly, I might have a bunch of S tier operators, to be completely honest. His kit's really interesting. He has a commando as well as a P10 Rooney. He has a longer scope of vision for the P10 Rooney. I could be wrong. I think, yeah. He only has default scopes on the P10 Rooney, but he has the commando. The commando is super nice. The reload animation is obviously super sexy. He has just a regular pistol for a secondary. They took away the super shotty because he was too OP. His gadgets obviously can take control of drones, which is super useful. It's pretty much like Mute 2.0, and we'll get to Mute right now. I'm going to put him in A tier just for now, but we'll talk about him soon. And he has a C4 and barbed wire, so also really great combination with the gadget. Me putting him in A tier just because I honestly think Mozzie does his job better. Because I mean, sure, you stop drones, you have a lot of like utility to work with. You have 4 jammers, but compared to, you know, Mozzie, you can't really do anything with the drones afterwards. You can just destroy them and that's it. Your gadgets, you have a C4 and barbed wire, same thing. You have the SAS shotgun and an MP5K with a 1.5 scope, which is super cool. Not even Malusi has that, and you literally have a sniper for an SMG. For your secondaries, you have the SMG-11, which is super dope, and a regular pistol. Everybody uses the SMG-11. It's pretty much like Smoke 2.0, which is great. Knock, I'm gonna put her down at D tier, bro. She's not great at all. I mean, her kit is really lacking. I think we should really like reassess what Knock can do. Maybe take some of those operators that have like 3 guns and put them towards Knock, because her kit is pretty shit. She has the FMG-9 for a primary and like a shotgun, the weird shotgun that Legion has, I believe, or the one that Ying has. I could be wrong. And for her secondaries, she has a Deagle and I believe like a 5.7 or some shit. I don't really know what her secondaries are other than the Deagle. Her kit is like I think nades and flashes, and her ability is just like kind of like a Vigil 2.0. But I just think she's so underused and underperforming, just like as an operator. I don't know what we can do to fix her. Maybe put like a DMR on her or some shit, but like you really can't do that much with Knock, to be completely honest with you. You really just can't. There's no really good stuff there you can do. Next we have Nomad. Nomad is a really great operator, putting her up in S tier. I mean, her guns are leave a lot to be desired. She has the AK-12 as well as an ARX. Usually people just use the AK-12 or the AK-47, whatever it's called. Yeah, it has the default ACOG scope, super nice, super hard hitting weapon. Her pistols are the Caviar, or I guess the Capitao pistol, as well as the scoped Ruger looking gun that they introduced with Cade and Nomad. Nobody uses that gun anymore because it just isn't really that great anymore. So yeah, really great kit. She has got not Claymore anymore. She's got breaching charges and flashes, I think, and you can literally just like combine those so well, and you can place them in like weird spots above doorways where it's almost practically impossible to counter if you're not like throwing an impact at it, like in the general radius of the area. So I think she's a great operator. Oryx, I'm putting him down to the fucking D, dude. Like, I loved the idea of Oryx. I absolutely loved the idea of Oryx and Amaro. The fact that they can transverse the map besides rappelling and just going down the stairs and dropping down a hatch. Going up things is super cool. I've always wanted that in the game, and I'm glad that they finally implemented it. But his gadget is so bad, his kit is so bad. So he has a T5 SMG, like Legion. It's a very good SMG. That's the only good redeeming quality about his kit. But the other gun he has is like a shotgun, I think. And then his secondaries is like the shotgun pistol for that Maestro have, and like another random pistol. I don't really know. He can barge through walls, and it takes 5 damage each time he does that. So if you really wanted to set up a room with like the rotations without wasting impacts, he can do that. But he's down to 85 HP, and that's where you have to bring in a Doc, and Doc doesn't bring in that much utility, so you're kind of crippling your team there. You really have to be like a hardcore like roamer. You have to time these like jump up through hatches perfectly. I think they should have given him the ability that a Rooney has, and just keep a Rooney at default like melees. So I think that would have been be a good switcheroo that they got there. But other than that, yeah, not even impacts, bro. He has got like barbed wire and sound beacons. That's the one secondary gadget that I'm forgetting when it comes to defending operators. But yeah, not that great. Pulse, I'm gonna put him at a C tier operator just because his gadget and his weapons don't really correlate all that well. So he has an ump and the FBI shotgun. He doesn't have a longer scope like Castle does. So he has to just work with what he's got with a hollow and a reflex. He's got the same 2 pistols. He's got a C4 and I believe barbed wire as his 2 secondary gadgets, and he's got his heartbeat monitor. So the ump has terrible fire rate, so if you see someone through a wall or coming around the corner through your thing, you have to put down your thing, get the slowest fire rate defender gun, and try to kill someone. Like, I don't think that's a good idea. A lot of people are just using the shotgun nowadays and saying fuck it. So yeah, Pulse, super situational. I don't think he's a good roamer at all, just because of his weapon. And yeah, Rook, I'm going to put him down in C tier as well. The only thing that Rook really does is prevent insta-kills pretty much almost all the time. So Rook's ability, for those of you that might not know, I had some people telling me, oh, it gives you more health. No, it doesn't. It just increases the likelihood of you being down before you instantly die. That's pretty much really all it does. And if it doesn't do that, then you're just getting headshot and you're dying anyway. So Rook doesn't really have that much to work with. He's got impacts, he's got barbed wire, he has an MP5K with a 2.0 scope, which is super useful if you're spawn peeking, but you're a 1 speed and you can't really move away from like your peeking area that well. You have again the P90 and the shotgun, and you have just the regular revolver and the pistol. So kind of a weird situation you got there with Rook. I just don't think he's useful. Sledge is now an A tier operator, or an S tier operator, my bad. I just think he's been super useful. I mean, he has like I guess like a amount of uses you can use your hammer for, but I still think it's way too many that they have him there. He's got nades, he's got flashes, he's got a good gun, he's got an SMG-11, he's got a shotgun too. Literally the best operator in the game. So versatile. I don't really even have to say anything about it. Same thing with Smoke, dude. Smoke is so good. He has area denial with a smoke. He has a shotgun and an SMG-11. He also has an FMG-9. So if you don't even want to use a shotgun, you can use an FMG-9. On defense, it's actually pretty good. Not that great on attack. And a default SAS pistol that nobody uses just because the SMG-11 is that much better. You have a shield and I believe barbed wired at your disposal. And bro, you literally can't get past the smoke unless they're absolutely shit. So Tachanka, I don't know where to really put him. I'm going to put him as a B tier operator just because he's supposed to be that smoke counterpart or like a smoke alternative, but he's really not doing that. Everybody's deciding to go for the big LMG just for the destruction and how cool it is, but nobody's realizing he has the SMG that fucking Capcan has, and it has a 1.5 scope, and it's pretty darn good. So honestly, if more people use Tachanka with a 1.5 scope SMG instead of the big LMG, you might actually see good Capcan or Tachanka players. It's real honestly. His gadget's good. He only has barbed wire and I think proximity alarms. Not that great. You can get rid of both of those relatively simply. So yeah. Moving on to the last stretch here, we have Thatcher. I think he's honestly more of a A tier operator now. He has 3 guns again, I think. Yeah, he still has 3 guns. I still think they should do something else with that other SMG or the older AR. Put it on like knock or some shit, you know. Everybody uses the L8 though, just because it's the better one. He has the default SAS pistol. He has the EMPs. He's got a Claymore and breaching charges, I believe, but everybody just uses Claymore, at least at the moment. And it disables gadgets. It doesn't destroy gadgets like Kali, so that's the only reason I'm putting him down in A. Thermite, I definitely think he's an A tier operator, right there with Thatcher. I think Ace is still the better hard breacher just because you can throw your gadget compared to standing up next to a wall and, you know, being able to being able to be shot from a lot farther. I think he's a good operator. I'm actually going to put him up in A tier or an S tier just because he makes bigger holes than Ace. And I mean, he brings pretty good utility. Claymore, flashbangs, is a good gun, at least I think so. He's got the SA shotgun and the 5.7 and the 1911. Good guns in my opinion. Twitch is now an S tier operator. I would have put her in like B or C tier in the previous seasons, but they took away her breaching charges and give her flashbangs, so now she's super useful. A lot of people are using her now. I really love Twitch nowadays. Her fire rate is okay. They took away OG ACOG and gave her a 1.5, but it's honestly not that big a deal. And her Twitches have unlimited zaps, but there's a cooldown on them, so not that big of a nerf compared to just having 5. Valkyrie, I'm going to put her as an S tier operator. She's just too good right now. She can throw her cams literally anywhere on the map, outside and inside, get visuals. They're quiet. You can't really see them now that well. Her kit is good. She's got an MPX and Spaz. Usually people just use the MPX. She's got a Deagle and another pistol. Oh, she only has a Deagle as her secondary, I believe, which is like, you know, a shotgun in a pistol form. So it's pretty dope. You make some holes in walls and stuff like that. Vigil. Next up, we have Vigil. I'm going to put him down in A tier operator. His kit's pretty good. He's got literally like 3 SMGs. He's got a CZ. He's got an SMG-12. He's got his main SMG and a boss G. So really good operator kit. He's got impacts and I believe bulletproof cam that he can work with. And I just think that's a really good operator. He's a 1 speed. He's literally like, I think it's the better roamer in this game right now. So Pretty cool. Next up, we have Omai. I'm going to put him as an A tier operator, better than Jaeger, which is kind of weird. I'm actually going to keep them both in A tier because they both don't have shields. They both run barbed wire, except I believe Omai has beep beeps, sound beacons. His kit's a little bit different now. He has obviously the MP5K with the long range scope, which is pretty good, kind of like Mute. He has the AUG as another assault rifle / second primary SMG. I don't really like the AUG. The MP5 is way better. His pistols is just, I think it's a GSG9 pistol. I mean, it's an okay kit, but his gadget really synergizes well with the rest. Last 4 operators, we have Warden. I'm sorry, Warden, but you are not that great. You're going down in the C tier. You know, his usability is not that great. Super situational. You never know when they're going to use smokes, flashes, or any of that. Plus, I feel like the activation is too long compared to like Knock, where you can still be aiming and activate it. I think you should be able to do that with Warden. His gadget's pretty, or his kit's pretty good. It's an MPX with a 1.5 scope, so a little bit better than Valkyrie. He has a shield. He has barbed wire, I believe, and he has really funny animations. He has a shotgun as another primary, but nobody really uses a shotgun. Alrighty. Ying, S tier operator, great kit. She's got the smoke flash combo back up again. She's got claymores as her secondary gadget. She's got a good LMG, at least in my opinion. A pretty bad SMG or shotgun as another primary weapon, but nobody really uses shotgun. And the Legion pistol, which I just think is one of the better pistols in the game. Super hard hitting, and yeah, good operator. Zero, I'm actually gonna surprise you guys and put him up at A tier. I think he's gonna be the next Nomad once he's allowed in competitive play and people actually realize how good Zero can be. It's more of an active operator. You can't really like play on them, kind of like Nomad can. You pretty much, they're only good if you have like a dead teammate. You could just cycle through the cams and be like, oh shit, there's 190. Plus they don't make noise. They're kind of big though and do make noise when they do go in. And they're pretty visible on like reinforced walls. But if you just put it on like a default wall with only one side, pretty good operator. Last but not least, we have Zofia, better than Ash. Just because she has stuns and impact. She's got a great gun, 2 great guns, an LMG and the regular AK-ish weapon, and the pistol. Great operators in general. So this is my Rainbow Six Siege tier list. We're going to go through it one last time. Just move some operators around. I think I'm going to put Amaro down in A tier. Not really S tier operator, to be completely honest with you. Yeah, maybe I'll put Ying down in A tier instead of S tier. Let's see, S tier. I think I'm gonna put Capcan down in B tier. B tier is still good. C and D is where the really bad operators get. And maybe I'll put Thatcher down in B tier as well. When it comes to the B tier operators, I'm going to put Doc down in C tier just because he doesn't really bring that much utility, like I said. And Frost in C tier. I'm going to put Blitz down in D just because I really didn't like that. And same thing with, I'm going to put Alibi. Rest in peace, Alibi. So yeah, this is going to be my Rainbow Six Siege tier list. Tier maker. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I know it was a long one, but I hope you guys can see some of the greater operators, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.